I'm Nick Flights, agronomist for Pentair High Pro, and I'm going to be sharing with you some new methods for assessing sprayer performance and coverage in the field. And so when we talk about spraying performance, we talk about our sprayer setup and our nozzles. There's terms we use a lot: droplet size, drift reduction, coverage, droplet density, even uniformity of coverage. But I don't know that these are terms we have a really good definition for. Do we really know how good a coverage we're getting within the crop and weed canopy we're spraying? So I've been working with UV dyes and black lights, where we've been including a UV dye in the tank. We go out in the field, we spray. Once it gets dark, we can use black lights and see exactly where those individual droplets land within the crop or weed canopy. We can see how dense the coverage is and how uniform the coverage is. So this first image we're showing now, we were in the field doing a post-tassel corn fungicide spray. We're using the 3D nozzle from Pentair High Pro, and this picture is of the corn ear leaf. We put the dye in with the tank mix fungicide, we sprayed, and then once it got dark, we had handheld UV lights we went out in the field with. And so from this picture, we can see exactly where those individual spray droplets landed. We can see the droplet density, how densely packed they are. We could see the uniform coverage from the tassel at the top of the corn plant all the way down to the prop roots. So it really gave this applicator a really good tool to assess the sprayer setup. He was very pleased with the 3D nozzles, the application volume he was using, his whole sprayer setup. It really reaffirmed his decisions. Now this next picture we'll look at is with a different nozzle, different crop. Now we're looking at a broadleaf crop, and this is the Ultra Low Drift Max nozzle from Pentair High Pro. Now this is a very different nozzle. And you can really tell a difference between those two pictures in droplet size. You can see how much larger the droplet size is. The big thing that stands out is the difference in droplet density. There's a lot fewer droplets being created by this nozzle, and you see that on the leaf surface. There's a lot of space between those individual droplets. So for our sprayer setup, we could look at these two examples and look back at what we're spraying and say, this second example in the broadleaf crop with the ULD Max would not be a good fungicide setup due to that low droplet density. Now it'd be perfectly good for a systemic herbicide that's going to be taken up by the plant and translocated. We're going to get good performance there. So we can use these tools here, this UV dye method, and I'm sharing it with you because it's really easy to do, and you can do it on your own farm. You just need a water-soluble UV dye. So I found one from a company called Risk Reactor that I really like. It's really easy to mix. It's in liquid form. It has a consistency of water. You just want to make sure you get an approximate 1% solution with it. So say if you mix up 100 gallons to spray in your tank, you want to have 1 gallon of this dye. To illuminate the spray, you just need some basic UV black lights. If you want to carry them into the field, you can get very good handheld ones that are battery powered from various sources online. So this is a really good tool that can be implemented on your farm to help you size nozzles, select nozzles, dial in your exact sprayer settings. You might go out and spray this and say, hey, the coverage looks great. I'm doing a great job. I've got my sprayer dialed in. I really like it. Or you might see some things that you want to try and improve upon, and then you can go back and look at other sprayer settings and fine-tune things to do a better job of spraying. The exact interaction of the UV dye with all of our different crop protection chemistry is unknown. So we can't say for certain that there couldn't be antagonism issues that might happen with one product here or there. I would just recommend doing this on a small scale basis. You wouldn't want to include this with your full tank mix for all your fields that you're spraying. One good proactive step you could take is to do a quick jar test before you include this in a tank mix. That would rule out any possibility of gelling or precipitates forming that could then clog your strainers and screens and nozzles. In the event you saw certain aspects of your spraying operation you didn't like, maybe you didn't see as high of coverage, things you could look at adjusting your application volume. Easiest way to increase coverage is to increase your water volume. You could also look at a little bit higher pressure. So we increase pressure, that tends to reduce droplet size output of our nozzle. Or you could look at a whole different nozzle family to work with. We have certain nozzles that are more focused toward higher coverage applications. Another example is maybe you're not happy with the uniformity of coverage. Maybe you're spraying a Fusarium head blight fungicide on wheat, and you're noticing that you're having a lot of deposition on one side of the wheat head, but not on the other. Then you may want to look at a nozzle that has incline spray patterns. Those incline spray patterns can help provide more uniform coverage in a vertical crop canopy. Using this UV dye method to test the performance of your sprayer in your own crop fields is going to be a really good tool that is going to allow you to fine-tune and tailor the setup of your sprayer to your specific region, the environmental conditions you experience in your own fields, in the crops that you are growing. For more information on spray nozzle selection, other spraying products, or general practices to improve your spraying efficiency, visit pentair.com/HiPro.